The future simple tense in French expresses an event that will happen in the future, which is similar to the English pattern of using will plus a verb. In French, the tense is generally more formal than other future tenses, like the future perfect and near future, so it's mainly used in writing, news, and predictions, also known as le futur simple. To form it, we must consider regular and irregular verbs, which play a big role in French, but we can start with regular verbs. To conjugate regular verbs in the future simple, we take a verb's infinitive and add specific future endings to the infinitive. These are the endings that we will need to form verbs in the tense, but I will not pronounce them by themselves because they have different pronunciations when put with verbs. As a note, these endings are the same for all verbs, regardless of the category. Let's see the verb parler, to speak, which ends in er. To put it in the future simple, we put the infinitive across all pronouns and add the future endings. Je parlerai. Tu parleras. Il, on parlera. Nous parlerons. Vous parlerez. Ils parleront. As a note, because some conjugations have the same pronunciation, say them with the subject to tell the difference. Now, let's see the verb finir, to finish, ending in ir. The pattern with this verb is the same. Je finirai. Tu finiras. Il, on finira. Nous finirons. Vous finirez. Ils finiront. Now, let's see the verb vendre, to sell, which ends in re. In this case, adding the future endings directly to the re ending will not work because of a double vowel sound. So, this is where a small change happens. We have to drop the final before adding the endings, and the same thing applies to any other re verb. Je vendrai. Tu vendras. Il, on vendra. Nous vendrons. Vous vendrez. Ils vendront. This is how regular verbs get conjugated in French in the future simple tense. But now, we need to see irregular verbs. Here, it's not necessary to list all conjugations for all pronouns, because the same endings are used for every type of verb, regardless of the category. What matters most is knowing the irregular stems, which is why they're irregular, but they still keep the same endings. As you can see, I put the most common irregular French verbs that are used in everyday speech. Of course, knowing all irregular verbs is impossible, so it's better to know the most practical ones so that you can understand French. As a note, many irregular stems resemble the root that is used for the conditional tense because they share the same stem. I mention this because by the time we get to the conditional mood in French, these verbs will have the same root. Je serai. I will be. J'aurai. I will have. J'irai. I will go. Je ferai. I will do or make. Je viendrai. I will come. Je verrai. I will see. Je saurai. I will know. Je pourrai. I will be able to. Je devrai. I will have to. Je voudrais. I will want. J'enverrai. I will send. Il pleuvra. It will rain. Now that we've seen irregular verbs, we can understand the nuance of the future simple in French. Primarily, it speaks about future facts, expresses predictions, and makes promises or assumptions, especially in formal and written contexts. Some examples are: Je partirai à midi. Il fera froid demain. Je te téléphonerai ce soir. As a pronunciation tip, even though future endings look different, most future forms are pronounced with the re sound, which is heard before the ending. Je parlerai. Tu finiras. Nous vendrons. All have that re sound before the ending. In general, this is how the tense works, but other concepts should be known to make your understanding of the tense much simpler. In English, we often use the present tense after phrases like as soon as, after, when, etc. But in French, we can use the future simple in both clauses. An example can be Dès que tu arriveras, nous mangerons. As soon as you arrive, we'll eat. This rule is very French specific and is extremely common in writing and speech. At the same time, the tense can be used after verbs that express hope, belief, or possibility, like espérer que, j'espère qu'il réussira. I hope he will succeed. Penser que, je pense qu'ils viendront. I think they will come. Moreover, the tense sometimes carries a softer, more formal tone in polite offers or requests, like saying, Vous voudrez bien m'excuser. You will kindly excuse me. However, in most polite speech, the conditional is preferred, which will be used in the conditional mood, such as using a si clause, but this is for a different video. Overall, this is how the future simple tense fully works in French.